So, we're back here in Atlanta, Georgia with Phillip Hudson, and I wanted to get into another question about where you are now from where you've gone, where you've been in your childhood. I understand that you had a very conservative upbringing, very traditional Jamaican customs and heritage was infused in that. So, here we are now in the city of Atlanta. Many say is the black gay mecca of the United States of America, and I wanted to know, have things gotten any easier for you to be who you really are, or have they gotten harder? What has this environment in Atlanta been like for you in your personal story?
I'm going to say that I personally don't identify with the majority of the black gays in Atlanta, and I'll explain why I say that.
Okay.
When I came to Atlanta, when I came to Morehouse, I went to Morehouse to essentially be taught how to be more so a man, or be taught how to be more masculine, because growing up, I was kind of shunned from my parents, so they didn't really teach me, you know what I'm saying, things that men should know. They didn't teach me about sex. They didn't teach me about they didn't teach me about anything that other kids that were at Morehouse, their parents taught them. Mm-hmm. So coming to Morehouse and seeing kind of everybody open and free with themselves, I was more so the sheltered one. Like, okay, well, how do you wear purses and how do you wear these things and be comfortable with who you are? But never express it to them. I've always kept it to myself. I've always watched it and I've observed. But the gays in Atlanta, outside of my educational experience in Atlanta, it's like street life. It's like there's an underground factor in Atlanta, and people say it's a black gay mecca, and people say that it's this great state for black gays to come and work in corporate and to do other things. However, there's another part of Atlanta that I saw before I saw the corporate side, which is the underground, side, the underground part of Atlanta, like the things that you do after dark, the things that go on after dark that a lot of people who live in California, Chicago, Memphis, Florida don't see before they get here, and when they do get here, they're taught about corporate and about the jobs and this and that. But then before you're taught about that, while you're still going through your transition of school, you have a chance to experience the underground world of Atlanta. So for me now, I've kind of just shut myself away from the entire gay scene. I don't even like going to gay clubs in Atlanta because it's a stereotype that if you're in the gay club, you're whoring, or you're doing things that you're not supposed to be doing. So when they see someone who goes to a school, and ever since the whole, the Vibe article and all that stuff, people kind of held me on a pedestal that I'm supposed to be this highly educated, individual that has no issues or has no problems and trying to help people. When in actuality, I think I am just like a majority of the people living here. I'm just someone who wants to mesh in to the culture here, but it's been hard to do that because of the stereotype that they do give the black gays who are in Atlanta. And the corporate part of Atlanta is great, but even the corporate people that I've met who have, six-figure salary jobs and who work in these corporate 500 companies, they don't associate themselves with a majority of the black gay culture in Atlanta. They associate themselves with the professional culture, the Alpharetta, the outskirts of town. They don't come in the city to do events and to do things to show awareness of what it is to be black gay successful. They're more like, I've made it, I'm not going to help you make it, and if you don't make it, that's your issue because all your life is going to be is in the club or in the ballroom scene voguing or doing balls or doing drag or turning into a transgender woman. And it's just this weird stereotype that I've never been able to identify with. So I've always kind of held myself back from it. Of course, I'll go out and I'll, enjoy, a club every now and then. But even when I go to the club, I'm super, super cautious because I don't want anybody to look at me and identify. I'm not afraid. That's one thing I'm not. I'm not afraid to go to a club to take pictures. I know a majority of the club owners, the promoters there, they're the ones who invite me out. However, it's just certain people who are in the club affiliate you or associate you with something that you don't want to be associated with, and all of a sudden you're this person and this gay family, or you do, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like guilty by association. I don't judge what people do. I'm just one of those individuals where, hey, if you want to go to the club every single weekend and spend all your rent money and all this stuff on partying and clubbing, that is for you. That's just not for me.
I understand.
Yeah.